Hi, this is Pawnee Prepper Bill. Today is Sunday, January 12th, 2020. This video I want to talk about the possibility of World War III. Is it a possibility with Iran, Russia, China, and the possible returning of the draft? Is it a possibility? And that's what I got coming up. Let me know your thoughts. This is Pawnee Prepper Bill. Today is Sunday, January something, 2020. I've been on the internet looking at different things in the news, and it's hard to get the right information. You know, evidently we can't get the right information from our websites, from anything in the United States. You're not going to find the truth. I think we all know that. But I've been looking at some stuff from the UK. And they've been talking about, I've been looking at KSL.com, The Sun, not The Sun paper, with the Wolf Boy ads and stuff like that. The girl had a baby with the wolf vampire baby. At least I don't think it is. But these are dated January 8th, 2020. January 8th, 2020. Preparing for war, how to prepare for World War III, and what to do if there's a nuclear attack. And this is in the UK, talking about the United States, Iran. A lot of people talking about the draft. They're going to reinstate the draft. They're not going to reinstate the draft. They can't reinstate the draft. They can. It's very unlikely. Evidently, we have a lot of reserves, a lot of military reserves, Army, National Guard, stuff like that. In case of, World War III, they have plenty of reserves where they won't need to bring back the draft. But if Russia or China gets involved and backs Iran, we are completely outnumbered. They would have they would have to bring back the draft. It's most unlikely. I don't know if these other countries are going to get involved. But if you look at the history, if somebody attacks your house, shoots your father, or kills your kid, and says, well, if you retaliate against me and get even, I'm going to come after you again. Well, you're going to have some kind of retaliation. You would have to. And when you look at back, this is The Sun, Patrick Knox, Neil Baker, Mark Hodge, John Rogers, 4. This is the UK edition of The Sun. The world is on high alert with tensions at boiling point between Iran and the US over the assassination of General, whatever his name is, Qasem Soleimani. I'm not even going to pretend I know how to say it. On January 8th, Iran launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq in its first military retaliation, but is World War III on the cards? Most likely not, but, there's lists of stuff that we have done to them over and over and over again. You're poking them, you're poking them, you're poking them. For other countries to respect you, you have to go to war. You have to retaliate. I don't know what to say about this. Do you think it's possible for the draft to come back? Do you think we're going to go to war with Iran? Some people think it's going to be a real bad World War III. Other people say they're a small country, they don't mean shit. They're peons and nothing's going to happen. I don't know. Before Russia and China have said if the United States provokes war or goes to war with Iran, that they will get involved on their side. So, I have no idea. And this one is, what is this? China has flexed its military muscles by launching its hypersonic nuclear missile, which could reach U.S. territory in a terrifying drill. Beijing broadcast footage of the DF-26 blasting into the sky from a mobile launch pad on state TV. The DF-26, or Dongfeng 26, can reach a top speed of Mach 18, 18 times faster than the speed of sound. It's capable of traveling 2,000 miles, far enough to blitz the U.S. territory of Guam in the Pacific Ocean. Now, is that a big deal for us if they blow up Guam? I don't know anybody that lives in Guam, but I mean, I guess it's part of the U.S. It's not like it's hitting California or New York. I mean, I don't know where these things are. I mean, where they say they are, they're positioned on mobile platforms and stuff like that. But that's just the ones we know about. So who knows where they actually have them. But here's one here. This is the Sun, January 3rd, 2020. Updated January 6th. Preparing for war, how to prepare for World War III and what to do if there's a nuclear attack. And this is the Sun, the UK edition. World War III has been trending on Twitter after the assassinated Iran's top general Qasem Soleimani, whatever his name is. Here's what to expect. Here's what experts advise you to do if World War III breaks out. It says here, the British government is reportedly working on a new nuclear alert system. What to do before a nuclear blast. A nuclear blast could take place without lengthy warning. Therefore, if you think an attack is likely, it is best to be prepared. Now, this is the Sun, the UK edition, updated January 6, 2020. They're talking about the people in the UK to prepare in case there is a war, and they're not involved, but you know, World War III would involve them. If we go into a nuclear war, I mean, the UK, pretty much everybody it's going to be a war. So fallout could be worldwide. You know, if one person fires and we fire back, and then some fire, you know, if Iran blasts something, or China or Russia, and we retaliate, the fallout's going to be everywhere. So it is going to be, people that aren't involved are still going to be affected. What should you have in your survival kit? It's suggested you go out and buy as many of these items as quickly as possible. Water filters, canned goods, stews, fruit, tuna, meats, etc. Ready-to-eat foods, granola, cheese, protein bars. A couple medical kits, peanut butter, assorted drink mixes. Excuse me. Multivitamins, iodine solution, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, painkillers, dried milk. Largest bags of rice, beans, flour, oats, sugar, and honey. Gallons of cooking oil. Baking powder and baking soda and spice assortment pack. A manual can opener. Matches and disposable lighters. Sanitary napkins and diapers if needed. Flashlights, ideally LED, and portable radios. Plenty of batteries, at least 3 sets for each of the above. Bottled water. Baby wipes, bleach, fire extinguisher. Paper or plastic plates, cups, utensils. Plastic hooded rain ponchos. And this is the UK. Now, I don't know how much of this is true. I mean, nuclear fallout, nuclear blasts. They're saying here for the UK what to do during a nuclear blast. Okay, here it says, the following are guidelines for what to do in the event of a nuclear explosion. Listen for official information via online radio or TV and follow the instructions provided by emergency response personnel. If an attack warning is issued, take cover as quickly as you can, below ground if possible, and stay there until instructed to do so otherwise. Find the nearest building, preferably built of brick or concrete, and go inside to avoid any radioactive material outside. If better shelter, such as a multi-story building or basement, can be reached within a few minutes, go there immediately. Go as far below ground as possible or in the center of a tall building. The goal is to put as many walls and as much concrete, brick, and soil between you and the radioactive material outside. Expect to stay inside for at least 24 hours unless told otherwise by authorities. Now, my problem here is, if there is a nuclear blast, there could be EMPs ahead of time or during that explosion. So there's a good chance, if you're watching TV or the internet or your cell phone, you know how you get the text alerts, they're probably not going to work. So if you're out in your car and your car dies, or the street lights go out, your cell phone dies or whatever, you might want to think to get cover immediately, because there's a good chance that nuclear bomb just went off. That's just my opinion. What to do if you're caught outside during a nuclear blast? Do not look at the flash or fireball. It can blind you. Take cover behind anything that might offer protection. Lie flat on the ground and cover your head. If the explosion is some distance away, it could take 30 seconds or more for the blast wave to hit. Take shelter as soon as you can, even if you are many miles from ground zero where the attack occurred. Radioactive fallout can be carried by the winds for hundreds of miles. If you are outside during or after the blast, get clean as soon as possible to remove any radioactive material that may have settled on your body. Remove your clothing to keep radioactive material from spreading. Removing the outer layer of clothing can remove up to 90% of radioactive material. If practical, place your contaminated clothing in a plastic bag and seal and tie the bag. When possible, take a shower with lots of soap and water to help remove radioactive contamination. Do not scrub or scratch the skin. Wash your hair with shampoo or soap and water. Do not use conditioner in your hair because it will bind radioactive material to your hair. Keep it from rinsing out easily. What to do after a nuclear blast? It's been reported the UK government is now working on a new alert system to prepare the Brits for the horror of a nuclear war. Back in the dark days of the Cold War, the British government developed a 4-minute warning system to alert the public that the country had come under attack. The warning system, which was in place from 1953 to 1992, used air raid sirens, TV bulletins, and radio broadcasts to spread the terrifying news, but thankfully it was never used. In 2003, the National Attack Warning System, NAWS, was developed, allowing the government to warn the population by phone, radio, and TV if we ever come under attack. Now that's my problem. The sirens and everything a lot of them are manual. You know, a lot of the buildings and stuff, you know, they had crank sirens and stuff like that. Or they could be hardwired. They could be electric, but, you know, not with your new electronics. They could be knocked out by an EMP. So if they put the old service, that old method out of service, that was probably more reliable. If you hear an air raid siren go off, you know something's going on. But to be sitting at home and waiting for a text or an alert, if that stuff doesn't work, or if we get hacked and you don't get the alert, the bomb's still going to go off and nobody's going to be notified. So I think the new technology today is really not helping us. Nowadays, nuclear bomb alert text messages and social media are the preferred method. I don't know if it really is. Now, if your city or state or whatever was just bombed, everybody's underground, how are you going to get this information? If you were just bombed and there's radiation everywhere, what news reporter or news anchor is going to go to work and broadcast the news and tell you when it's safe to come outside, or tell you you're not going to have any information. You know, your Wi-Fi and phone lines and internet, they're all going to be down. So you're not going to know what to do. Keep listening to the radio. Yeah. Stay away from damaged areas. Stay away from areas marked radiation hazard or hazmat. Well, I think that's kind of like a given. I mean, who's going to do that? Remember, radiation cannot be seen, smelled, or otherwise detected by human senses. So, what are your thoughts about World War III? What do you think about the draft coming back? Is it possible? Oh, I don't know if I brought that paper out here. Our military, yes, we outnumber. Of course, I didn't print that page out. We outnumber Iran with military personnel. But if Russia and China gets involved, I mean, they triple us, and they completely. It's not gonna be good. If Russia or China, either one of them, if they get involved in this, we're pretty much screwed. Well, this is Honey Prepper Bill. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think about fake news, what we're getting. Is it true? Is it factual? Is it bullshit? Are there chances of World War III with Iran? Will Russia or China or another country get involved? Could they bring the draft back? And what do you think about the draft? Is it a good idea? Should we go to war or shouldn't we go to war? Who provoked it? What are the reasons for this? Should we have gotten involved at all? This is Honey Prepper Bill. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.